This segment sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Welcome back to Mental Health Matters with Viking Psychiatry and Wellness. Today we're going to be talking about oxytocin, and most people may think of this as a love hormone, but it actually turns out that it plays a much bigger role in mental health. So Sean Goddard is here to share all about it. Good morning, Sean.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Okay, so what is oxytocin? This is my first time ever hearing this term.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Oxytocin, a lot of people think of it as a love hormone, but it's actually involved in a lot more than that. It's involved not only in, it's known as a contractile hormone. It's responsible, for example, helping give birth and all those types of things, but it's also responsible for helping with mood regulation, controlling fear, memory, motivation, orgasm. It's involved in a lot.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just a neurological thing. It actually plays a part in the emotions?
Yeah, it absolutely, it's a, they call it a love hormone for a reason because, for example, when you go and you hold your baby for the first time and you do the first feeding, that feeding is just full of oxytocin and helps with the binding and the connection between baby and the mom and also baby and the dad. So it's involved in our feelings, our emotions, from birth and beyond.
From birth, okay, so it's love on all levels.
That's right.
And so how does this connect if someone is experiencing anxiety or trauma, perhaps?
Yeah, oxytocin can actually play a significant role, we're finding in studies, in helping reduce anxiety and fear responses. We live in a society today now where we're dealing with PTSD, and not only just normal PTSD, but what we call chronic severe PTSD. And sometimes it can be a question of, is somebody really depressed, or are they dealing with chronic long-term post-traumatic stress disorder from their upbringing and from life? And we're seeing through studies that oxytocin can help calm the brain, reduce the fear drive, the anxiety drive, and allow emotional connection. A lot of people are really struggling, in addition, because of social media and electronics and all that, in dealing with connection. I have a client right now that really struggles to emotionally bond and connect with his wife, and we're using oxytocin to help with that, because he grew up with no love and no bonding and no connection, and so he doesn't have that emotional support or connection or that basic understanding of how to do that. So it's amazing how it can help.
So when you say you're using oxytocin, is it a hormone that all of us possess, and then is there a way that you can kind of tap into it a little bit further?
Yeah, so oxytocin we naturally produce, and it's amazing. We actually produce it in so many different areas in our body. We find that it's not only in our brain, it's in our gut, it's everywhere. And so, but the problem is we don't always produce it the way we're supposed to, where we're supposed to produce it, or release it, or we underproduce it. And so with some of the protocols that we're doing with our change to Viking Psychiatry and Wellness, right, we're taking that whole-centered approach. And so we have protocols that we're able to do where you can self-administer bioidentical oxytocin, either daily, multiple times a day. It depends on what we're treating. It could be intranasally, it could be sublingual, it could even be like vaginal suppositories. It just all depends on what we're attempting to treat or what we're approaching. But we offer ways to help build that oxytocin release, and it's amazing. We already have a few clients that are being treated, and it's amazing how quickly we can see responses in individuals.
That's so cool. It sounds like you're putting love in the air, That's such an interesting hormone that we possess. I mean, I feel that the more we tap into it, then that's incredible. So how do you really regulate it?
Well, the body is responsible for regulating and releasing oxytocin, and the problem is our regulation is off across the board in all hormones nowadays. I could get into the idea that there's a reason that young women and young men are walking around with low levels of testosterone or estrogen or progesterone because of the diets and microplastics and all these different reasons that we have low hormone levels in the life that we live in, the chronic disconnection as we grow up. But our goal is to bridge that gap and allow people to really enjoy life. Psychiatry is not just about prescribing a pill, and the problem is that's been the approach for too long. Psychiatry should be about total wellness, and that's what we're looking to do here.
Yeah, fully. And you talked before about people who may experience chronic stress and trauma, and sometimes they kind of go into a survivor mode, right, or a survival mode, but there's a way that the brain connects, and you're saying that this oxytocin is a way to kind of treat that or to help in that area to kind of de-stress a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, really, if you think about it in a kind of the balloon being full type idea, right? That when we have chronic PTSD or lack of emotional connection, our balloons that are full are the ones that are our anxiety balloon, our fear balloon, and so it's hard for us to fill up the balloon that's love and connection or even intimacy, right? And so what we're able to do is by treating through these protocols with oxytocin, we're able to start filling up those other balloons and releasing the pressure out of the other ones, right?
Okay.
So that they don't pop.
Yeah.
And we're allowing people to begin to reconnect not only with themselves, but sometimes be able to truly begin to bond with the people in their life or their partner, or be able to enjoy intimacy for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. Well, that's so cool how you're expanding to the wellness side and really tapping into this area. So what would you say is the biggest takeaway as people are leaving this conversation thinking about oxytocin?
Yeah, remember that oxytocin and mental health isn't just about prescribing a pill. It's not about just the brain. It's about total body. And our brain responds. Our body remembers and reacts off of its memory.
Yeah.
And so our goal is to begin to change that, right? Look at that total approach, change the way that the body responds, and then change the way that our mind responds.
Love it. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thank you.
Very
Thanks for
interesting.
having me.
And if you would like more information about Viking Psychiatry and Wellness, we'll have their website listed below, and I'll see you after the break. This segment is sponsored by Viking Psychiatry and Wellness.